Welcome back. It's John Pollock and John Ramdeen with you. We are joined by Anthony Rumble Johnson here in studio. He will be headlining UFC 206 that's going down Saturday, December the 10th at the Air Canada Centre. Tickets are on sale this week. And Anthony, welcome to Canada.
Thank you for having me here, man.
I guess it's just been a whole whirlwind of media that you're in the midst of here. Is your head kind of spinning at this point?
I mean, not really. I'm kind of used to it, but it's fun being here, man. I've never been to Canada. I thought it would be a lot colder. But I'm glad that it's pretty warm.
Was that kind of in the back of your mind when you were signing this contract and Toronto was there in bold letters? It's like, what am I getting myself into in December?
Started thinking Toronto, snow, me, and cold weather.
We'll expect that in December.
I don't mix well with cold weather.
One of the things I want to ask you is, once the cage door closes, it seems that you seem to be free right off the get-go. Is that an easy place for you to get, to be comfortable and be free inside of the cage?
Yeah, it's where I feel like I can be myself and just have fun with nobody judging me and everybody actually having a good time.
Have you done that through your entire career, or is that something that you had to learn?
I had to learn it. When I was fighting at 170, I was miserable.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, losing the amount of weight that I was losing, missing weight, the amount of times that I missed weight, and hating the world, hating myself because I couldn't eat whenever I wanted to eat. But since I've been at 205, life has been beautiful. I'm smiling all the time. I'm having fun. I eat whatever I want to eat, and I train 10 times harder now.
I want to talk about that because it's something we've heard a lot of fighters say, enjoying it, the whole process being fun. Is the process fun for you?
Yeah. Process has been very fun. Like I said, I laugh. I get to have fun with my friends and family now instead of staying in and eating grapes and stuff like that for dinner. You know, it sucked when I was fighting 170. Now, like I said, I love everybody. I don't hate the world anymore.
Did that kind of become, fighters will talk about that weight cut, that the weight cut becomes the fight and the actual fight is an afterthought. And just seeing you here in person, it's unbelievable you were getting down to 170. Yeah. I can't imagine what that process was like for as long as you were trying to make it.
The toughest thing was to make the weight. You know, when I was fighting at 170, I would get down, the week of the fight come to the event, I would be about 182. And then Thursday, I would start cutting weight and I would get down to 176. Once I hit 176, that's when my body was like, no more. And then from 176 all the way down to 171, that was the fight.
Did you worry that was going to be taking years off your career, just what you were putting your body through?
It never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind. I just wanted to make weight. And I knew I was hurting myself, but I didn't know how bad.
Going back to UFC 187, it was a difficult night for you. In the aftermath of that, did you have it in your head that you would have another go around with Daniel Cormier, that this was a fight that you would want to rectify at some point in the future? And I mean, has Daniel Cormier been on your radar since that point?
Oh yeah, he's been on my radar ever since the moment I tapped out. You know, the moment I stepped out of the octagon, I was thinking about what I needed to do to get better, to get back in this situation that I'm in right now. And we worked our butts off to get back here. So I have to make the most of it and walk away with the belt.
Do you have a specific fight philosophy when you get inside the cage? I think if the fans, when they see you, it's like, oh, this guy's a knockout artist. That's what he's coming to do, to entertain the crowd, get the knockout. That's how he gets victories. Do you have a specific philosophy of what you're trying to do inside of the cage, or is that the assignment?
Seek and destroy, that's all I do when I go inside of the cage. And each fight, of course, you know, I try and be smarter because every fighter knows I'm gonna for sure try and knock your head off. But I have to make sure I don't try and give it my all every time I throw a punch. I have to be more calculated and more relaxed and patient whenever I fight now.
Do you chart your own growth? Do you feel that you've grown as a fighter since, you know, fighting at 205, coming back to the UFC?
Oh yeah, every day that I train, every fight that I've had, I feel like I'm growing more and more as a fighter and as a person.
And do you see it yourself, or do you need your coaches to say, hey, you're getting excellent at this technique?
No, I see it. I see it, I feel it, I believe it.
So much is focused upon your power, and I feel that's almost a disservice to your entire game. Do you ever get that sense from people that they narrow in on that, but you watch 3 rounds against Phil Davis, and that was just an outstanding performance. That to me opened up everyone's eyes that this was a brand new Anthony Johnson when you came back.
Most people believe I'm just a knockout artist, and I'll take the credit for that. You know what I mean? I don't mind it. But I work hard. I work hard on my ground game now since I have Neil Melanson working with me. and I work hard on my wrestling. People, believe it or not, just because Daniel took me down twice, something like that, does not mean my wrestling sucks. It's Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's an elite wrestler. I fought Phil Davis. He's an elite wrestler too, but I stopped his takedowns. But it was two different levels. And with Daniel, I think I stopped. I think he was 2 for 8 or 2 for 9 or something like that on takedown attempts or whatever. And my wrestling isn't bad, but he got me when it counted for him.
Do you like to have techniques and fight philosophies tucked in your back pocket to use at specific times, or do you have the same assignment when you think about, okay, this is what I'm going to do, go out and execute, or do you learn a new trick in the gym, try to incorporate it right away?
Yeah, I try and do everything I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys that if it happens at a certain time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, But sometimes it doesn't work that way.
Do you like fighting organically, or is everything, okay, the assignment set up this trap with these patterns, with these combinations, or is it you just try to feel things out first?
I feel things out,
Yeah.
but everybody feels things out, but at the same time, you kind of have to, you already have what you want to do naturally. So I kind of go with the flow, but if I see that opportunity of something that I like to do, I'll definitely do it.
How do you balance, you're in such a huge main event here in Toronto, you're focused on the fight in this rematch, but as well, how this performs on pay-per-view and the pressure that is on both of you, because this is a country that they were expecting George St. Pierre on this card. It's a big show here in Toronto. Do you feel that pressure and kind of balancing the business with the sporting element of it?
I don't feel any pressure at all. Toronto is great. Canada's awesome. I just want to come out here and put on the best performance possible. And I know the fans will appreciate it because I fight hard every fight. Daniel fights hard every fight. So we might not live up to the hype that, GSP has brought to this country as far as fighting and what John Jones and Gustafson have did. But Daniel, we aren't any slouches. We'll come out here and just get the job done and put on an exciting fight too.
What have you learned about yourself throughout this fight journey? Fighting at 170 pounds in the UFC, leaving the UFC, fighting at heavyweight, making your mark, coming back to the UFC, fighting at the highest level, fighting for a championship, and now fighting for a title once again. Is there anything that you've learned about yourself that you didn't know about yourself?
I think, I taught myself just not to give up, if anything, because a lot of people that probably have been in my position when they got cut, never came back stronger. And I came back stronger, bigger and better than ever. So, I got cut, came back strong. I hadn't lost in a while, then I lost to Daniel. And now since I've lost to Daniel, I've been back even stronger. I've knocked out everybody that I've faced since then. So hopefully I keep that train going.
They talk about the mental game. Is it easy to just stay mentally strong, to keep your eye on that prize? Or is it a constant battle?
Oh, it's a constant battle
Yeah.
for sure. Some people have it, some people don't. You have to tell yourself, ask yourself, is it worth it sometimes? Putting your body through so much torture. But you have to make it fun at the same time and let yourself know that you do have a life. And this is fun. This is what we signed up for. So I ride the wave, man.
Is it important to have that family environment in the gym, to have everybody around you so you can laugh and you can enjoy the experience?
Yeah, of course. But when it comes to training in the gym, I pretty much mind my own business. I go in there, I train hard, and then I leave. I don't come in there and really talk a lot, because I don't go there to talk. By the time training is over with, we have our breakdown. I'm out walking to my truck, still got my training stuff on because I don't feel like talking. I'm like, I just got through rolling around with you and punch you in the face. You think I feel like talking to you after? So, I'm in and out. I'm one of those guys.
What was your reaction, if you had one, when Rashad Evans told you his plan, he's going to get down to 185? Do you think that this is the right path for him in his career?
It's a good move for him, for sure. I call him Sugar Cube. But Sugar Cube, that's like my brother. So I wish him nothing but success at 185. I think it's a great move for him. 205 is just tough right now, and the guys are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and faster and just better. So him going down to 185, I think that's a good move for him.
When it comes to Daniel Cormier and you're approaching this fight, is there a personal animosity with Daniel Cormier from any comments he's made, or is this is your next opponent and you withdraw all of that emotion?
This is my next opponent, you know. I didn't give him my all the last time, but this time I will. So I'll be just as way more focused than what I was the first time we fought.
And final question, just kind of your assessment of the current light heavyweight division. I mean, you win this championship, it shakes up this whole division at the time. How would you categorize the health of light heavyweight at this point? Because there's a lot of questions, of course, with John Jones and future contenders.
Right now, the top guys are you know, Daniel and myself. Who else is there to really give us a run for our money? You know what I mean? I've beaten Gus. Daniel's beaten Gus. I've beaten Glover. Daniel hasn't fought Glover yet. So I beat Bader. It's just, you know, it's just me and Daniel. It's our show. I don't see anybody else stepping in front of us and can do anything about it.
Is heavyweight in your future at some point down the road?
One day.
Yeah.
One day. You know, one day I plan on being real fat and fighting at heavyweight.
But no more welterweight.
No more welterweight. That's not even a thought.
It is going down Saturday, December the 10th. It's UFC 206. Daniel Cormier defending the light heavyweight championship against Anthony Johnson. Tickets are on sale this week.